Welcome back. You're watching 101. We're talking with veteran Bollywood, Hollywood and Italian film industry actor Kabir Bedi. Kabir, do you remember that first time that it all clicked, that you felt that you were making your mark as an actor? When was that turning point?
I would say that when I acted in Tughlaq, which I mentioned earlier, my first major stage production in Bombay, and it had extraordinary success and extraordinary reviews, I felt I'd made my mark as an actor. When Kache Dhage, Raj Khosla's film, became my first big hit, I felt, wow, I'm actually a screen actor now. When Sandokan happened, it was certainly one of the defining moments in my life because it changed everything. You know, when great success happens, people say, I haven't changed, I haven't changed. The truth of the matter is it changes everything. And it opened the doors of the West to me. The rest of the journey wasn't that easy, but being recognized by everyone on the street, being mobbed by paparazzi day and night, being swarmed by people at every place you went, certainly gave you a feeling of, you know, I'm God, I've done something special. Truth of the matter is, I was part of a great series with a great director, great writers, an Oscar-winning set designer, a great photographer, and great music by Maurizio and Guido De Angelis. I was part of a team that made something happen. But it certainly gave me a great sense of satisfaction as an actor to say, hey, I'm Sandokan, you know, and you're led to believe it's because of you. Truth of the matter is due to everyone, but I happen to represent that success. And then when I was in the Bond film, that was again, even though it was the role of the physical heavy, just to be part of a Bond film, I said, hey, I am part of a Bond film. That was another great moment. When I was on The Bold and Beautiful, the second most watched television show in the world, and people from all over the world start writing to you, you think, hey, this is fantastic. I'm building up a fan base in countries I didn't know existed. So these kind of moments are certainly special. And then when you're acting in Italian, you say, my God, I'm acting in another language. All these things are milestones along the way, along with other defining moments in your personal life, your marriages, your divorces, your children, your loves and your losses.
Were you at all disappointed that the role in Octopussy, you know, was very visible, you're in Hollywood, you're in a Bond movie, didn't amount to anything more, perhaps the way you might have wanted to? Could it have led to anything, or were the roles just not there?
I think the roles just weren't there. Because even before the Bond film, I'd done another huge film called Ashanti, which was with Michael Caine and Peter Ustinov, etc., and William Holden, Rex Harrison. I mean, it's a big film which, again, didn't result in any big Hollywood roles immediately. Then I did The Thief of Baghdad, which again was seen. The truth of the matter, the roles aren't there. And even when the roles are there, any actor can get it, whether he's Asian or not, because that's the way it works. They would never today in Hollywood paint a white actor black, but they have no hesitation in painting a white actor a little brown at times for the relevant roles. But, you know, I'm not saying Hollywood is obliged to write roles for Asian actors either. Fact is, how many American roles do we write in Bollywood films? So they're fully entitled to write films that suit their culture, but it's not the most fertile ground for us. We have to create our own projects for ourselves to shine on the international stage.
What about comparing Bollywood and Hollywood? Because you know both from the inside. You know, Octopussy, of course, the James Bond movie, you had a major role in this, and you've been a big star in Bollywood for a while. How do you compare the two?
They are two very important industries around the world. Bollywood has become a huge brand name in the last 10 years especially. Hollywood has been a brand name for years. But their working methods are completely different. Hollywood is organized to a point of suffocation. By the time a script is approved, it is approved not just by the director, by the producer, but by layers of people in the studios. It's very difficult for a director to say, let's make last-minute changes. Let's have a little adjustment on the sets. People need too much notice, too many people are involved in the whole decision-making process, for there to be a real flexibility at the time of making films. Schedules have to be strictly adhered to. Reports are going out every minute in this world of computers. If you're behind even by a minute, I mean, I know from the experience of my friend Shekhar Kapoor, I mean, they would say, we're going to pull the plug this evening at 5, whether you shoot the scene or not. So that's one end of it. The other end of it is Bollywood, where people begin a film not quite knowing how much it'll cost, how long it will take, whether, in fact, they have a script before they start completed, and they improvise like mad. You could say, I want an elephant on the set at 2 p.m. tomorrow, it'll be there. You can say, I want the set of a palace built in 3 days, it'll be there. We have this fantastic ability to do things last minute and produce it. Now, in fairness to Bollywood, I will say that there is a generation of younger directors coming in that do have scripts, that do have schedules. And many of the stars today have started saying, instead of making films on the installment plan where we shoot 3 days here and 5 days there, another 10 days, 4 months later, let's do the film in one schedule, guys. So those changes are coming about. And to complete my story, the Italians are somewhere in between. They plan like the Americans and they improvise like the Indians.
How do you regard the way Bollywood has gone nowadays? I mean, it's much more of they talk about the sort of much more sex and flesh and kind of it's lost its sort of warm romantic appeal to some people.
No, I think Bollywood will always have a warm romantic appeal because what distinguishes Bollywood film in world cinema is its song and dance, its entertainment factor, and that's its uniqueness. In the same way that people say, people sing in opera. Why do they sing in opera? Because that's the way it is. That's the way Bollywood is. So I think Bollywood will always remain a romantic industry at heart. And even though there might be a little more kissing now, a little more flesh seen now, the fundamental nature of Bollywood won't change.
In terms of the roles you've played, obviously of a wide variety, but in terms of the roles you'd like to play that you haven't had a chance to yet, what comes to mind?
I love historical roles. I wish I could do more of them. I also like the idea of doing science fiction roles, futuristic roles. And I also love the idea of playing quirky characters. People see me as a serious person, as a kind of impressive presence, so they give me these towering roles. I'd like to do an eccentric artist, a mad composer, schizophrenic or disturbed taxi driver. You know, something that is off the beaten path that you normally don't associate me with, but gives me the ability to play a multi-dimensional, complicated character, because that's what challenges me as an actor. Playing the strong, imposing emperors, maharajas, industrialists, etc., that I can do without a sweat. I have to add some dimension to it, but give me something quirky, that's what I'd really enjoy.
Is there any role you wouldn't want to play? Is there anything you wouldn't do as an actor in terms of on screen or on stage?
You know, I wouldn't do roles that don't appeal to me these days, because as an actor, I'm becoming very, very picky. Not because of any ego, but because I really want to work on the projects I'm developing as a filmmaker. I've really got things to finish off in the international arena. So there's many roles that I don't want to do because the roles don't interest me, because they're not fleshed out enough, because they're not substantial enough in the film, or they just don't matter to me anymore. Acting, actually, to tell you the truth, is mattering less to me. The desire to express myself as a filmmaker and a storyteller is beginning to matter more.
So when it comes down to it, when the time comes, how would you like to be remembered? What would you like Kabir Bedi's legacy to be?
I can't write my own epitaph. It's for others to tell me what I'll be remembered for. Right now I know that in certain parts of the world, like Italy, they'll always remember me for Sandokan, because no matter what I do, that's what I will represent to them. And I treat that as a great honor to have created such a memorable character. But at the end of the day, I think I'd probably like to be remembered more for the kind of stories I've told and what social good I've been able to do in my life. And I think that stage is yet to come. That's why I always say the best is yet to come.
Kabir, I wish you luck. Thank you very much for talking with me.
Thanks, Riz.